Hey, I'm at Interbike. I'm hanging out at the Tern booth. This is Josh, one of the founding team members of Tern. Of course, the folding electric bikes are why I'm here, but you guys go way back to just like really cool folding bikes. Can you give me some history? Like, fill me in, man.
Well, we're a 5-year-old company,
Okay.
but we're a team that has a ton of experience in folding, so we're really, really good at it. We're all kind of bike nuts. Most of us ride to work.
Yeah.
And so a lot of what we do is thinking about problems that we have and how we can improve them.
Yeah.
And creating bikes for ourselves. And we all fit into different customer profiles.
Yeah.
Like our head designer lives in Finland.
Wow.
Doesn't own a car. He's never owned a car. But what it means is that he thinks about what happens to a bike when it's minus 25 outside.
That's a good point. A hydraulic brake fluid can be a question mark, I've heard, in some of those.
Yeah. I mean, there's also, plastics. What happens to plastics at that temperature?
Yeah.
And
batteries too, right? Like I've heard that the charge, this is what I've heard, maybe you can correct me. I've heard that like extreme heat, extreme cold can be kind of tough on batteries, and that you just don't get the range with like a really cold battery. You know
yes, absolutely.
Some of that?
Last year I was skiing with an iPhone, kept it in the outer pocket, took it out, used it for 5 minutes.
Oh, and it was zapped?
And it was done.
But what I'm seeing here is a Bosch system where you can remove the battery, take it inside with you.
Or you can fold up the bike.
And bring the whole bike inside with you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the key thing, is that you don't have to leave it out in the shed or the garage where it's minus 10.
Okay.
Or at work, you don't have to chain it up outside. It goes in with you.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Well, we talked about folding bikes a little bit. Before we started filming, you were like, look at this. And I was like, what is that? Because I'd seen it just briefly. What's going on with that thing there?
So
what is this called?
This is a key piece of technology. It's called the Andros Stem.
Okay.
And what makes it special is that it's adjustable. So it just works like this. I'll show you.
Did a guy named Andros invent it?
No. A guy named Yo-Yo did it.
Yo-Yo. Ma?
So you can, if you want to, you have a headwind, you want to get down a little bit lower.
Yeah.
If you're a tall guy, you want a little bit more reach. And if you're in the city and you want to sit up a little bit higher,
I like it.
You just adjust it upwards. And what this means is that, this bike can really fit. Can really fit people of all shapes and sizes, and so it becomes transportation. So it's not just, this is dad's bike, but it's dad's bike, it's mom's bike, it's daughter's bike.
Yeah.
From 4'10" to 6'5", it adjusts and adapts to.
How tall are you, Monica? 5'1". Can you come? Do you want to try it out real time?
That's cool. Look at that.
There we go. Okay, we got the clearance.
Yay.
Does the seat? I noticed that the seat post has 2 parts here. Is that an extender?
Yeah. So it's an extender.
It's like telescoping, double.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah. So we can kind of.
This is pretty upright. That'll be that's pretty comfortable for you.
Okay. Cool. Very cool.
Because we think of this as transportation.
Yeah.
It's a machine that's designed to get you around, and so it can't just be, okay, only dad can ride this. It needs to be something that the entire family can share. And that's really important because it's expensive. You can't have 4 or 5 of these for everybody in the family.
Well, and you mentioned the whole family. Like, clearly I'm from electric bike stuff. I'm all into it. I got an injured knee years ago, and I just couldn't commute to work as it just didn't feel good after a while. And I had friends that would go really fast and stuff. So when you think about the family sticking together and different people of different health levels and stuff, I'm excited to see. It looks like you've got the Bosch system going on this one. What's this called, by the way?
This is called the Electron.
The Electron, the
Yeah.
Tern Electron.
Yeah.
And you've also done some other partnerships, it seems like, some other electric things. There was like a folding cargo bike or something. Is that top secret, or what's going on with that?
No, that's it's a product that's out on the market. It's called the Cargo Node.
Okay.
The sample that we have here has an e-rad kit, so it's an optional upgrade.
Sweet.
That's available, which is when you're carrying
cargo.
Well, my most recent trip was 2 kids playing Pokemon Go on the back.
Hey, how cool! You could go to the Pokestops like with that. That's great.
But with 2 kids on the back, it gets a bit heavy.
It does.
That's when you think, hey, maybe electric would be very helpful.
A bit of assist. And in the past, I think I've seen bionic stuff working with. So it seems like you've been pretty receptive to the electric stuff, even for the past few years.
Yeah, we're always thinking about how can we make the experience of riding easier, safer, more convenient.
Right.
Basically, to convince more people to ride.
Yeah.
And so, if you ask somebody, why don't you ride more? there's a million excuses people will give you. It's too far to work. I'm gonna get sweaty. There's no shower. I've got a steep hill.
Make dinner for my girlfriend. Something. There's always something, right?
There's a million excuses, and you know what electric does is it wipes away 90% of those excuses.
That's right.
If it's too far, well, you know, guess what? You probably get there in LA, in a lot of places.
Faster. We spend a lot of time in LA, and yeah, it's crazy. And just with more bike trails, and so this is a class 1, so you know, pedal assist only, but you get a lot of versatility. I love the Bosch system. I haven't spent a lot of time looking at their new display panel. It's like a mini one.
This is the Purion. So this is the brand new for this year.
Okay.
Super.
Just get the right angle here.
Real minimalist and small.
Same thing? Yeah, it's almost like the button pad, just without the big display in the middle, and that frees up this space. Probably a little bit more durable for a folding bike too. It looks pretty tough.
Yeah, and then that gives you a real clean cockpit, and we like this middle space for, this is our light, it's called the Valo Light.
Nice.
It's centrally mounted, it's up high, so you don't get a lot of the light blocked by the wheel.
Yeah. I love this thing, man. I was noticing, there's like a walk mode right here?
Yeah, that's a walk assist.
Yeah, they fit like all the buttons on there. That's awesome.
Well, they're Bosch.
So. Oh, yeah, they do a really good job. It's in development for a long time, and it's like testing, refining it, getting everything just right. They've got a really good warranty, 2 years comprehensive on this stuff from what I hear from Bosch.
And it's also that, you know, with Bosch, you know, with kind of the automotive standards, you know that 5 years from now, when you want to replace your battery,
they'll still be there.
They're going to be there. And not only that, but they're going to have a stock that you can buy online. You can go into, they have 250 dealers certified across the country, and they're doing, you know, 100, 200 more every year.
And maybe even a choice, because now I think Bosch, they have the PowerPack 400 and a 500 that you can get too. So that, you know, for longer range, or maybe with the cargo bike. Do you want to take me around real quick and point out any cool other stuff that you've got? I want to see that node for sure.
Okay, sure.
So this is like it's kind of the e-rad setup, it looks like.
Well,
is
this
that
is
right?
It's not an e-rad. It's using a different system. It's called Bafang.
Oh, just a straight up Bafang from the manufacturer.
Yeah.
Got it.
So this is it's a great solid little bike at a $2,000 price point.
E-Link 07i.
D7i.
Oh, D7i. Yeah. I wasn't aware of that. Cool.
You know, the reality is, you know, the Electron, that's the bike we're really excited about, but 3,400 is it's not a cheap bike.
It's $1,400 more than this one. That's what I'm hearing. Yeah, but
and this gives you a lot of the benefit. It's not spec'd quite as high. It's a step lower, but it's a good entry level bike.
Cool. Filling in those different levels. So what's the other stuff over here?
Well, we've got the.
This is what really caught my eye at first. I was like, man, look at that.
So
a folding cargo bike. I think it's the first time I've seen that.
What's the only one in existence?
Really?
Yeah. So we're the only ones who make a product like this. We love cargo bikes. Mm-hmm. We think they're super useful. The problem is a lot of them they're long, they're big, and they're hard to, you know, like
fit in your closet or wherever.
Our bike parking at work is on the 6th floor. So.
The elevator.
Exactly.
Wow.
Like if it doesn't fold, I can't get into our bike parking, and that's where our shower is. I also, you know, so I keep it on the first floor at home, and so, you know, the local supermarket is about 1 kilometer away. Driving would be idiotic. Yeah. But carrying a couple bags of groceries.
Yeah, it can really get tiring quickly, can it? Yeah.
And so this is actually our run around the neighborhood bike.
Is this back portion by Extra Cycle?
Yeah.
Yeah, because those guys, that's a pretty cool company in San Francisco.
Ross, the founder of Extra Cycle, we're college buddies.
Really? Oh my gosh, small world.
Yeah. So I think we were sitting in a hot tub and, you know, having a few cold beverages.
Is that how it goes?
and we were saying, hey, you know, I wonder if we could like do something together, because we have this new super cool Leap rear end coming out, and and what would it happen if you like stuck it onto one of your, you know, your folding bikes on the front ends, and could you create a product that's useful, functional?
Yeah, someone needs to go get some more beers for that hot tub, right? Pick them up with something. It looks like What are the wheel sizes? Is this 24 inch?
This is 24
So
inch.
it's like the perfect combination of strength and lower for that folding and standover, but you also get smoother versus 20 inch, which can be a little bit like, and it lowers those boards too, so sometimes you come to collide with curbs.
So I can show you how it folds.
Hey, you want to?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So it's pretty easy. You just you lower the seat.
Seat first.
You do this.
Oh boy.
Like that. And this comes down.
Oh, clever. I was wondering what that was.
Yeah. And so this now fits into your elevator. If you've got a hatchback, that'll go in there. And with a normal cargo bike, you can't do
There's
this.
no way. Yeah, even with, it's like, they don't even really fit on bike racks a lot of times. Even the platform wraps,
They're too long.
they're long, and I imagine a little bit more weight. So, I look at the old diamond frame style classic bikes, and you can hang them, but with something like this, it's accessible. My girlfriend was just stepping over it a minute ago and was like, yeah, I can stand on this. I feel in control. Even though it's heavier, I can move it because of the motor. It's pretty compelling. I think that's genius. Like, frankly, the folding, it just makes this so much more useful.
Yeah.
It becomes an option.
Yeah, and look, the goal is to say, for all those people driving 2 miles to the supermarket,
Yeah.
we want to give them a biking option for that. I mean, it's crazy that we have all these cars on the road driving these short distances. It's something like 40% of trips are like within a couple miles of home.
Right. Yeah.
And so, a product like this, I actually take my daughter to the subway station. It's about 1 kilometer away.
Does she hold on to is this like the safety strap? You're just like hanging on, like
Yeah.
horseback. That's rad.
So walking, we live in Taiwan, so it gets pretty hot.
Yeah.
So walking 1 kilometer takes 15 minutes. You get to the subway station, you're sweaty, and so this is called Daddy Taxi.
Daddy taxi. That's awesome. I like that. And in the future, this is a little bit off topic, but I feel like we're seeing so much technology, computers and smartphones and things, and then to be able to extend that a little bit to something that's still physical, that's still personal. You're out in the community. It's not just less cars on the road. It's more fun, more time talking with your dad, or your neighbors, or seeing someone at the store. You can pull over with a bike and anywhere. You don't have to I gotta find parking and it's cool. I have always kind of liked the designs of Tern, and it seems like one of the higher quality folding bike companies out there. You have a warranty, you have a distribution network. It's more legit. I appreciate some of the lower level entry stuff, but just the folding mechanisms are really solid. We kind of had that sliding latch, the locking, and this right here again. So it feels safer. It feels higher quality, and that too. This little touches. I think some of them have the magnets. Yeah, for when you fold it, so it kind of stays folded.
Well, I think number one, our team has been together for a long time, and we've got a ton of experience.
Yeah.
I've been designing folding bikes for longer than almost any other person on the planet. I think the key is that all of us are riding, and so we're creating solutions for ourselves, and that's important because if you've got people working in bike companies and they're not riders, they're there and it's just a business.
Yeah.
You end up with different product, and the really exciting product, whether it's portly or specialized, or it's coming from people who are riding and solving problems for themselves.
Cool.
And for us, we're not racing, so we don't care if our fork is 10 grams lighter.
Yeah.
But we do care if the rack is easy to use and it carries the types of bags that we want.
Yeah.
And so we care about these kind of functional things, like are the fenders long enough? Are they wide enough? Do they block it enough for water?
I heard maybe the wheelbase on the Electron was a little bit longer, so it's more stable or can accommodate larger riders. Is that the idea?
Yeah. We're loving how that bike rides. It's, number one, the wheelbase is a little bit longer, but the key is putting all of that weight very, very low and very central.
Yeah.
A lot of e-bikes, they're pretty heavy. Like your girlfriend, with some of these 50-pound e-bikes.
And 50 pounds is kind of average. That's not even...
And with the weight up high, you have to kind of wrestle with it a bit.
Yeah.
But when you put all the weight really, really low, the bike becomes easy to handle and it becomes really stable on the road. And I think that's where the Electron really shines. It's like how easy it is. It's a low step.
Yeah.
And it's just really easy to balance and cruise comfortably.
Sweet. Well, I can't wait to get my hands on one and do some
get
reviews, spend some time out there with it.
Yep.
Thanks again for your time, Josh. It's been a real pleasure, and I hope you have a great show, and we'll see you around.
Yep. See you.